So I told myself that since I'm addicted to energy drinks, that I wouldn't be able to have an energy drink unless I made a video. And I don't know what to do a video about. So you guys are just going to watch me code, I guess. But it's going to be a video and I get my energy drink. Hashtag wish I was sponsored. Um, Also, like, rate my setup. Like, who needs a rubber duck when you got a little sidekick over here? He's eating right now. Like, this is his feeding pump. He has to be fed through a tube through his stomach. Anyways, so what are we doing today? We are going to be focusing on in-app purchases. I actually have already tested out using StoreKit 2, which is a framework that was created by Apple a couple of years ago. And I actually haven't used StoreKit 2 yet. I created a project that allowed me to learn about StoreKit 2, and it seemed to be successful. So right now, the goal is to transfer the code from my test project to my actual app project, and then actually limit the functionality of the app based off of whether the user is subscribed or not. The app that we're going to be working on is called alt text. The goal of the app is to essentially allow users, like the visually impaired users, to get a text description of an image that is passed to the app. So this would essentially allow people that can't really see to be able to, like, have that alt text provided to them if it wasn't included in the picture. So for example, I go on X a lot, and even when I post images there, I usually don't include alt text. I'm just a little bit too lazy for it, to be honest. But it's super important, and I know it's super important, but I just still don't do it. So what I would like to do is I would like to have an app that generates the alt text for me so that I don't have to type it out, and a visually impaired user can still get a gist of what's going on in the image. So there's that aspect of it. And then also to be able to, um, you know, do that outside of the X platform. So if you're not on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, then you can still use the app for whatever image. So like if you wanted to use a camera, you don't know what you're looking at, take a picture, bam. Now it's going to tell you what's going on right in front of you from your camera. Or if you're browsing on like Safari in your app, in your phone. Right. So like these are the examples, and I can actually just show you right here. I don't know what I'm talking about. I could just show you. So here's the simulator. Um, he's interested too. He's interested too. He's my number one fan. The other two, they seem to have lost interest. Nah. Okay. So I have a couple of test photos that I put in here. Um, you can actually see, like, okay, for example, this is an image of me working or using GitHub projects to, like, track my progress on here. Oh yeah, damn, yeah, worth it. Okay, so essentially you'd be able to take an image, share it. Now there's actually, I created a share extension, but you're technically not supposed to use share extensions this way. Share extensions are meant for the app that you're going to be sharing the image to essentially, hey baby. Okay. Um, yeah. Okay. So, what I was saying was, essentially you're not supposed to be able to use share extensions this way. When you use a share extension, which is being able to take an image, and take it over here to one of the apps that are provided right here. When you take an image and you take it to one of the apps that are provided right here, it's supposed to open that actual app. I'm not doing that. It technically opens a sheet that has my app, but it's not opening my actual app, and it's keeping the user inside whatever app that they're using. So what you just saw right now was that we have this image, which was described, and it says a screenshot of a project management tool with yada, 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 right? So it's essentially telling you what's going on. Maybe I should add some padding to the bottom of that. Let's do that right now. That was in the, and there's some refactoring I actually have to do too, but yeah. But essentially what it's doing is it's sending an image up to OpenAI, which is the company that owns ChatGPT, and it is using one of their APIs to describe the image. My prompt that I'm sending up is telling it to give back a description that is specifically for the visually impaired, in the context of alt text, which or alternate text or alternative text. I can't remember if it was alternate or alternative, but yeah, that's the idea. And yeah, let's do. It's already got padding, but let's do more padding on the bottom. And so bottom. Yeah, that should be fine. So that's what the app does. The goal is to get in-app purchases working, because every time I send up a call to OpenAI, it costs money, right? It's a fraction of a cent, I think. It's like a tenth of a cent per image I send up. But if it was to be like potentially hundreds of users, which I mean, realistically not likely, but if it was to get a lot of traction and like hundreds of people were using it, then this would be expensive. So yeah, people have to pay for it. Oh yeah, so good. Okay, so now the goal is to put a paywall, and I actually have a screenshot of the onboarding that I want to do. You're sitting right on my phone, kid. All right, so man, if you give me a second, I'll change you, so and it'll be good. Just give me a sec. You got to finish too. You still pushing. All right, so essentially, what I want to do is I want to recreate this. So this is going to be like the onboarding. Um, then it's going to be another screen after this, which is going to be the paywall. Uh, and then they'll actually be able to enter the app. So that's the goal for today. Onboarding, paywall, and blocking. Well, essentially, yeah, you have to be verified or have a subscription in order to use the app. So like it won't necessarily be blocking a specific feature. It'll just be blocking the app in its entirety. And yeah, so let's go ahead and start with like building out this UI right here. Um, and yeah, and once this guy's done, I'll have to change him. So all right, so this project's like a mess. It was supposed to be such a small project, and it turned into this giant thing that I just did not expect. But that's kind of like the problem when you become aware of all the different ways that you can create an app. Is like this, you just get like you get like all these decisions that you could make that could be for the better of the app. Anyways, yeah, so we'll do, what is this, onboarding? onboarding view or screen. Well, mess that up. And we'll do screen. I think we can make this a little bit bigger for y'all. Code's not that complex. So let's take a look at what we got to do one more time. So we have essentially 3 different types of elements on the screen. We have this large text, so that's going to be one thing. That could be this one right here, and we'll squash that. And how do we do this? There we go. So we have that, which could be like getting started, and then we'll say in alt text, that's the name of the app, and we're going to make the text or font size large title. So that'll cover that. Then we have this repeated format of elements, so which consists of 3 different things, right? So you have some type of image. These are system images from what I can tell, which are icons that are provided by Apple. Then we have one piece of text and then a second piece of text. And the way that they're arranged is first they're going to be wrapped horizontally. So you have this image, which is to the left of this text, right? So it's going horizontal. And then we have this like headline type title, collaboration, and then below it is going to be like the description. So we have this vertical. So first we have this horizontal, which encompasses that entire box. If you think of it, if you think of it like a box, let's see. Can we do this in previews? I think we can. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. So it's been a minute since I did it like this. So let's do this. All right. So you guys can like actually visually see what I'm talking about, and see if I could get like different colors going. So first we have these 2 elements, right? So we have this element and then we have this chunk of element. And just to show you, let's do it in green. No, I mean, that's not what I wanted. We got to do another one. There we go. So we'll do this one in like blue. Then we got to do like another one in like, just so you guys can see it. I don't know if this is like too detailed information, but I don't really care. It's just like somebody, if it helps you, then it helps you. If not, then you're probably not even watching this video anymore, so whatever. So look at, we have 2 elements inside, right? So let's just make it like yellow, right? So we have the blue element and then we have the yellow element. So those are separate. And then inside of the yellow element, we have even more views, right? I don't know why I'm calling them elements, but like we have separate views. So we have this one, which is collaboration, and then that could be like purple. And then we have another one, and this is right here. And we can make that one like, I don't know, brown. I don't know, dude. Okay, so like you can see, like this is visually how I'm thinking about building out this UI, right? So in the red box is everything that's going to contain this row. This is going to be, I'll call it like onboarding benefit. We'll call it an onboarding benefit object. So, or onboarding benefit view. So these are the benefits that this app offers, right? And actually we could probably just make this the paywall itself. So this will be a paywall benefit. We'll call it a paywall benefit because this will be my paywall. Even though I have it called onboarding. Naming's the hardest part of being a programmer. No. Okay, so we have this benefit type situation, right? And each benefit includes an icon. It includes a headline or a title, and then it includes a description. And the way that we choose to lay that out, that's all up to us, right, as the developer. And the way that I'm seeing how they're laying this out is we have this entire benefit row, right, which is going to be red. We have a benefit row that's going to encompass all the information that we're going to be displaying to it. Papush. Dang, you stink. We got to change you. And then we have the benefit icon that represents that benefit. In this case, they're using the person circle, and we can actually pull up these same exact icons from SF Symbols, which is provided through Apple. All these icons. So this one's going to be like person.circle. Right. So it's this, oh, well, maybe it's not this exact one. It's personal circle, person dot crop dot circle. It's this one. But anyways, yeah, so we're using an icon, then we're using some text, and then we're using another text. And these are laid out horizontally in this yellow box. And that's going to be our VStack. So that's going to be one object right here. Like it's going to be one view that's just going to simply display these things, the title and the description. And then we're going to put those side by side using a H stack, a horizontal stack. And that's when we're going to put our icon and our title and text side by side. I can't get anything done. Hey, Mom. All right. I'm back. I think I was being a little bit optimistic about what we can finish today, and that's kind of one of the problems I've been running into. It's just like, man, everybody needs me for something. Can't get 1 second to just have a stint of just work. Maybe I'll wake up like super early tomorrow and see how that works out. But that's also wishful thinking. I don't know. This is how it is all day long. Just constant interruptions. One of the kids should be in here complaining about something in the next 5 minutes. Oh, yes. All right. So, actually, the way that we're going to do this is this button is going to have some additional text. So it's not going to just be this. This is Numbers is free, right? So like they don't need a subscription. They don't need you to pay before you actually start working with it. So these buttons are going to be a little bit different, and there's actually going to be two. You could either subscribe annually, or you could subscribe for the monthly. And yeah, let's just add that in. So we need a label, and this is essentially what is going to be, what's visually going to be inside of the button right here. Visually, you can see the word continue. So what are we going to put in there? We'll have text. Oh, this is actually going to be a VStack. And you know what? Like Maybe we only do the monthly. Let's think about this. Should we offer annual subscription on something that requires so essentially, do I want people to be able to subscribe annually, get a discount, right? And they would be able to pay annually at a discounted rate. I mean, I think I already put that in here for our payments, or maybe I haven't even created them yet. Yeah, maybe I haven't even created them yet. That's okay. Yeah, monthly and annual. Both will come with like a 3-day trial. So, let's see. Maybe we do try for free on the annual and then pay monthly for the and no trial on the monthly. So we'll do try for free. So we need to put text try for free. And then or we'll do try free for 3 days. Pay let's say if we were going to charge this for let's say $7 a month. Yeah, like $7 a month, I think is a fair price for the monthly for this type of thing where you could use it a lot. I wonder if we could get away with 5. Let's try it with 5. And this way it's not, it's like, I'm trying to lower the barrier to entry because a lot of people should have this app. It shouldn't be like the paywall, unfortunately, is there because I'm not going to take on the expense of paying for every visually impaired person. But like, I want to make it accessible too. Like, this is supposed to be like more of a utility. And eventually, I'm sure Apple will include this somehow into their system. But until they do, there's an opportunity to help people and possibly make money from it too. I'm not expecting a whole lot of money, but we'll see. So, pay, I don't know. Let's do $5.99 or $4.99. I mean, oh no, we'll do $49.99. Pay $49.99 for the year. Then pay $49.99 for the year, like that. And there's probably a better way to do this. I can't really think of it right now. We need to actually pull the price from the App Store, but we'll work on that in a little bit. And let's just go ahead and take a look at what this looks like so far. The way that we're going to do that is first we need to select the right target. We need to change this to onboarding. I think it's just called onboarding. We'll actually change that right now. This is screen, and then screen. Okay. Of course it chose my phone. So then we have to go back over here, update this to screen. And hopefully we could get this to just open up to where it needs to open up to. crinkling it up over there, huh, boy? So it should be get started in alt text. And then we have the button down here, right? So yeah, the button is there. Nothing looks the way that we really want it to. So first, what we're going to do, where is it? First, what we're going to do is we're going to add a line break in here. I think that'll do it. And then we'll make it bold. It didn't look like it was bold. For this one, we actually need to update the button style. Style to be bordered prominent. And that's kind of what this style is right here. And by default, I think the color is blue. It's a lot of padding. We need to change the text alignment. Center. And what else was wrong with it? Button, frame, I think has to be min width, infinity. I think this is how we make the button go all the way to the edges. I always forget how to do this properly. No, it's maybe it's just width. Could be max width. Let's keep trying until something works. Nope. So I think it didn't work because it's actually not the button's fault. It's kind of like the text's fault. If we do it to one of these, I think it'll work. Or actually, I think I could do it to the V stack, and that would be a little bit more consistent. Yeah. So there we go. Then we just need to add padding on the button. And it will look a little bit better, and then we'll adjust the font. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to make this, like, each line look a little bit different. So next what we'll do is we'll say this one's going to have a font style of like headline, and this one font, I don't know what to do this one. Maybe caption. Okay, my mom's here. Let's try caption. Let's see what that looks like. All right, let's see if we can accomplish literally anything. Okay, so we got the button kind of looking the way that we want it to. Take a look here. Try for free. Try free for 3 days, then pay $49.99 for the year. And then we'll do another one that's like try now, and that will be perfect example of my life. Hello? Yeah, they're doing fine. All right. So, after that, now that we got the buttons, I think the text is all right. Like, as long as it kind of makes sense, then we're good. Continue with monthly, pay $4.99 per month. Try free for 3 days, then pay $49.99 for the year. There we go. And now we need to just recreate these views right here. And we'll just do a struct, and we'll call this like a paywall perk. Yeah, paywall perk view, or let's see, we were calling it benefit, right? So we'll call it benefit view. We'll call it actually just call it paywall benefit paywall benefit view. My code is pretty messy when I'm just going for it. We'll have paywall benefit, and this will have an icon. This will have a, we'll do icon name. It will have a title, and it will have a description. So from there, we'll initialize the paywall benefit view with a paywall benefit. And I'll just call this benefit. We'll do body. This needs to conform to view. Body, like that. And remember, so this is, we're creating the red box, right? So remember, the red box contains first a horizontal view, right? So a H stack. That is going to have an icon, or an image, an image, and we can create an image with the system name, and we'll do benefit.icon name like that. And then, so that covers the blue box. That's what this one is. This is the blue box. Now we need to create the yellow box, which is a V-stack vertical layout, right? V-stack, and this is going to have two text views in it. So the first one is, let's just say collaborate, or well, we don't need to do that because we actually have the object. So benefit dot title, and then we have another one, text benefit dot description. Now this one is going to also be a font of caption. We'll see how this ends up looking like, and this one will also have a font of headline, similar to the button. Okay, so now we just need to create a couple of benefits. So we can, for screens, when I have the name screen, I'll usually create a view model for a screen, which is the object that's going to be responsible for like handling logic and things like that. And my personal preference is, I haven't had a use case to where the view model is useful. Like, so the view model and the view are usually tightly coupled. This is typically bad practice, or considered bad practice by a lot of people. But I personally have not ran into a use case to where a view model has actually been useful as, or has been actually reusable. So this is why I choose to do extensions and extend the view models, because the view model is essentially the reality of the situation is this isn't even MVVM. This is actually MVC. Almost everything is MVC if you think about it. But yeah, like a lot of people just, I don't know. This is the approach that is standard practice when working with Swift UI. The extension part is not standard practice. So whether you choose to follow this approach or not, that's up to you. This is how I do it. So we have an onboarding screen. We have a class that's going to be called view model. I love the fact that this is actually a consistent naming convention as opposed to most other ways that I've seen online. Every screen has a view model object on it, and that seems to be very, it's I like it for readability, and it removes my cognitive overload, like what do you call it? The cognitive load is like kind of lessened because of the consistency in following the idea that every screen has its own view model, if that makes sense. So we're going to do published var, and this will be actually, this doesn't really need to be published. We could just do let benefits equals, or be an array of benefit, paywall benefits, and then we'll just create them in here. So now what we can do is we can give them a name. So I'll just go with these ones for right now, because I don't actually have the benefits in my mind right now, but I want some good dummy data. So we have person dot crop dot circle. That's what that one was called, and then we'll just call it collaboration. Usually when I can't think of the real data that I want to populate it with, I try to just use the design that I'm referencing and just copy all that data, even though that's like really inefficient. And then we'll do edit with others at the same time on Mac, iPad, iPhone, or iCloud.com. Right? And now we just have to do this. And it'll all be the same, but that's okay. So now we have the basics laid out, and it should look relatively close to what we want. So now what we're going to do, oh, actually this needs to be like hashable or identifiable. This one needs to be identifiable. Yeah. And this one could be identifiable by the title, I guess. Oh, we have to change this to string. There we go. So now we should be able to create a list or actually, I think this is probably just better as a VStack because it doesn't really need scrolling functionality. Wait, does a list always have? Let's see what happens if we put a list. I actually don't remember if list automatically has scrolling or not. So we'll do list. Data is going to be, we have to have an instance of our view model. So let view model, or I actually do VM view model, and it like so. And we will say VM.benefits benefit, and then we'll just drop in our paywall benefit view for each of these benefits. There. All right, I gotta feed the little baby. But let's first see if this works. Okay, kind of. A couple of things that we need to change. First, we need the list. Yeah, so it does include that. We don't want that. So what we can do is we can change this to a for each. Should still work. And I think since it's already in a V stack, we actually don't even have to do much else. From there, okay, that's a little bit closer. So now icons, I'm gonna go with a random number of 44. The reason why I go with 44 is because based off of Apple's interface, or what's it called, Apple's human user design, or whatever it's called, human interface guidelines, or whatever it's HIGS. Yeah. Based off of that, buttons should be a minimum of 44 pixels. And even though this isn't a button, it's still an icon, and it looks roughly about that size. So that's what I'm going to go with. So we'll say, not this one, this one. The frame will be, we have the width, which is going to be 44, and height, which will be 44 as well. We also want to make sure that it has a foreground color of accent color. This is going to make it blue, or whatever color we choose for everything else. So like you see how the button is blue, that's the current the accent color. Similar to how this is green and this is green. So they just continuously use the same accent color with all of them. So we'll just kind of follow that pattern there. The other problem that we have is that these are like aligned in the center, and we want them to be aligned to the left instead. So let's change the alignment of the VStack. And that is going to be leading. There we go. Okay, so this seemed to work, but the size of the item, the size of the view didn't work. Now it kind of did, or yeah. So like the color did, but like the frame didn't. The frame didn't, and I wonder if I should change the order of these. I don't think this specific Swift UI is very like, it's very picky. So depending on which one you put first can have different results. In this case, that's not an issue, I don't think. The current issue is that we need to actually resize this. So we need this to be resizable. I think there's two attributes that we usually put on images. I can't remember the second one. One of them's resizable. The other, there's like a different one too, but let's see. So that kind of worked. We do need a little bit of padding. We could add a space between spacing. And it looks a little bit more like 40, maybe 30. Maybe 20, because that was a lot. All right, and I don't know if I want to actually make this a caption. Maybe this could just be regular, and then we change the text. Only thing is that we have to make sure that it stays readable. Okay, so this is looking closer. We also want to add some like horizontal padding on the sides, because if you notice, it's getting way too close to the sides, right? So we want to do some horizontal padding on the H step, not here though. That is the responsibility of, I think, this, of the for each dot horizontal, or actually, do we want it? We have padding. Okay, so what we want is we want the entirety of this V stack to have padding. So we'll take this padding off. This will be vertical padding. And then on the entirety of this V stack, we will add horizontal padding. Padding dot horizontal. Xavier. Xavier. He might have fallen asleep. I need to go get him. Okay, this is getting closer. Needs more space. You see? So, like, look at this. How do we do this? Oh, here it is. So I want you to take a look. It would be much better if, okay. So notice the notice the difference, right? Like these images start right here, but there's still like an extra bit of padding. So they're like smaller on the inside. So let's kind of copy that, because right now, I can't do it over here, but like essentially these images are essentially lined up with these images, or with these buttons, and that's not what is happening over here. There's also more vertical spacing between each of them. So let's see if for each has a spacing. It doesn't. But we can add padding dot vertical for each of those, and that will give us some extra spacing. And actually, let's see. I feel like this is not what I want. In my head, we're going to have a for each, which will wrap around each of these, and then it'll have padding. Yeah, in my head, that's not going to work. Let's take a look and see what happens, but I think that this isn't going to work the way that I want it to. Oh, it actually did work. Okay, interesting. So this worked. What are we doing that's so different from over here? Because this simply will not fit on a smaller phone. Like this is the 15 Pro, but if it was like on the other one, It wouldn't work on the SE. I don't know why I have to do this for the SE, but people still have the SE. Like, get a normal phone. And let's see. Window. Where is it? I don't know how to make it smaller, but essentially, like, look at this. It's all clipped, and that's not what we want. So, how do we fix that? Because it looks all right over here. We do have the extra button, and if we did only 3, it would obviously fit a lot better. But like, that's not like a real solution, right? Having less data is not like the right solution. Looks decent though. The only thing is that this is actually going to be popped up like a modal view as a sheet. Let me show you what that actually means. So so this is our home screen, right? Again, like, this is my code is so messy right now. So this is a home screen. And if we were to do the view model, and we were to say at published var did pay or something like that, or has subscription, which will be a boolean, false, or should show paywall, there we go. And we can do it like this. Watch, sheet view model, should show paywall, and we will return our onboarding screen like so, unless we didn't name it that properly or something. Yeah, it's called onboarding screen. Okay. Yeah, it's there. So it should be there. It'll be fine. So let's go ahead and run this. This should work. Cannot find onboarding screen. It's pretty wild. Why can't you find it? This one can find it. It's right here. Maybe we need to clean it, because it should be accessible. But what do you mean? .init? Is this what you want? That's pretty weird. Okay. Why does this not work? Is the initializer like private or something? I don't understand. Okay, so onboarding screen. Yeah. What's going on? Target is selected. Onboarding screen. Onboarding. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. All right, let's try to restart Xcode because that should work. It's able to be seen in one file but not the other. Like, that's kind of weird. Okay. No. What? Hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I'm stumped now. I don't know what to do. This is kind of crazy. All right, let's see. Onboarding screen, like it just doesn't exist. Like, weird. What is this? Why are you. What? Is it cause. Okay. Okay, so I see that the extensions are complaining. They want access. And the reason why they want access is because I have everything like pointing at each other. And yeah, like that's the problem. Like I need to go back and like clean up all of this stuff, but it's just weird that it wouldn't work. Like the least helpful. What? What are you. Dude. What are you talking about? Okay, hold on. Product. We have to clear all issues. I feel like Xcode's wrong about this one. Look at now it's saying cannot convert. Oh, okay. Uh doesn't need to be item. You can show a sheet. There it is presented. I mean, give me the right type of error. So weird. Now what? Incredible. All right. So it's finally going to build. Um And when our home screen comes up, immediately our sheet should be popped up. Uh, that's, oh, hold on. We have to change the alt to home screen. Okay. This one was my fault. I accept that. All right. So let's see home screen. And then there we go. Bam. And then can you dismiss it? You can. How do I get rid of that though? Interesting. That is, look at that. It can scroll, but just that piece. Interesting for sure. Let's see if we could disable dismiss. Swift UI, sheet, disable, drag. Okay. Interactive dismiss disabled. Interactive dismiss. Interesting. I've never seen that. Okay, onboarding screen. Then we put this down here. Interactive dismiss disabled. True. Okay. Oh, well, let me show you what I was looking at. All I was looking for is if the default value was true or not. Then that means that you should not be able to drag it by default once this is this what is it, modifier is added to it. All right. Oh, so you can still drag it, but you can't dismiss it. Ha! It's stuck. Nope. Okay, so now what we can do is we can add the environment. This is the part where things get kind of weird. Var dismiss environment, and it's called dismiss. Var dismiss. And if we hit one of these buttons, we can call dismiss dot call as function. And this will give us this will dismiss this view like they actually paid for it. So when we connect the purchase functionality to it, we'll be able to actually dismiss it. So continue with monthly, and let's say it worked. Bam. Now you're in the app. Perfect. All right, so that was my day. That's all I got to code for today. Some days it's like this a lot. It's like this a lot. It's not always like this, but it is like this a lot. So it is hard to get a lot of stuff done most days when I have all three of the kids, which is I have them on Wednesdays and Thursdays every week, and then every other weekend. So out of 14 days, I have them 7 days. The baby, he was a little bit more work than he normally is. Usually he's pretty laid back. I thought he would go to sleep. He was fighting his sleep all day. Don't know what that was about. Got calls and stuff like that. That's pretty normal. But yeah, it's a little bit rough. But overall, at least we got to get the screen done. We just need to connect it to making the payments. So yeah, I think I'm going to limit myself to caffeine in general through making videos, because caffeine is like my drug of choice. and like I am addicted. I am like literally addicted to caffeine. Like, so I'm thinking maybe I could wake up super early tomorrow before anybody's awake. Then I would have extra time I would have like dedicated time to just work on this stuff and not have to worry about like the baby, the kids, anything. So let's see if I'm actually able to wake up. I'm just going to edit this video, throw it together, and then put it out. Don't know if anybody's even going to watch this, but it is what it is. I'll just document my journey on here and see what happens. Like, if nobody watches, okay. If somebody watches, okay. And at least it'll be like good for me to look back on in a couple of years. This will be just like my coding diary or something like that. I have to figure out a name for this, but for whatever this is, but yeah. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with me.